Oh, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Hi, it's Friday. Hope you're all ready for the weekend, and I am. This week, we're doing another open mic show, obviously, as you can tell, because that's the title of the show, and that's what the picture on the thumbnail says. That's only, I suppose, if you're looking at, if you're looking at the version that I was looking at, it still had my old picture up there, but that's okay. Anyway, it's open mic day on the Morning Night Live, and I invite you to join me on the show. You can do that by clicking the link up at the top of the chat, the pin link up there, or you can, it'll pop up in the chat every once in a while. I didn't put the link in the description. That was silly of me. Maybe I'll do that during the intro. But so hopefully we'll get some people in here. I see King on Common Law is ready to go in the queue, so we'll have him on shortly after I go through a couple of news items, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of you to jump in. And if you haven't shared this stream, share it out. Let people know we've got an open mic, and I wouldn't mind getting some people who disagree with me on things too, but there are certain things you guys disagree with me on too, and that's fine. I'll talk about anything, but whatever you want to talk about today. We are going to get to, though, something that really bugged me earlier this week, regarding the 4th of July holiday, and a couple African Americans of African descent in Congress who were taking a dump right over all over the 4th of July. And it got me to ask the question of the week, whether or not Black people should be celebrating the 4th of July. Now, I already gave my answer on Monday, but I wanted to see if I was hoping I'd get some new answers with my video this week, and I got a couple, but nothing detailed. But we'll talk about that too, and we'll do all that. But first, I need to play the intro. Play the intro, Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. All right, there we go. I had a little mishap there. I realize I also need. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you, but I have to make one minor change to this this title. Here we go. Edit. There we go. Because I got to put the. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. But if you're here, you can see the link right at the top of the chat over there, where if you want to jump in, and again, it will be in the stream too, in the chat. So anyway. Let me just go into, I wanted to, before we get into the show, here, hang on a second. Let me put this in the description too. Link here. And there we go. And I probably should have put that on Twitter too. But anyway, let me go into a couple things that popped up on social media this morning, just to get some, get the, what do you call it? The headlines, the morning headlines. Now, I don't know if you know who Wendy Williams is. She has this talk show, and she's I don't know how to describe Wendy Williams. She's let's just say she's a big woman, and she has this fairly popular talk show. And it was weird because I saw her trending today, and I don't really care about this kind of stuff usually, but it was an interesting. She might be. Let's just say she's getting in trouble with a certain segment of Twitter, and also with TikTok, because of a certain way she decided to open describe a person on her show. And I'm going to let you listen to it so you can see what I'm talking about, and tell me at what point do you cringe here, because I'm not even going to tell you the whole story here. I'm just going to show you. So tell me, at what point do you cringe as she introduces this particular hot topic? Let me put that on the screen. There we go. Oh, today. Okay, just a reminder, my computer's going to be slow today because I got too many things happening, but I'm going to add this to the stream. There we go. Now, let's listen to her introduce this particular hot topic, and you tell me where in particular you start to cringe. And of course, no sound.
I have no idea who this is. Neither does Norman. Neither does one person in this building. Maybe Sus does. Do you know who Swavey is? Clap.
Hey, real quick, chat, let me ask you that same question. Do you know who Swavey is? Because I didn't before I saw this segment. But people are pissed off about this. You can tell me which point people got pissed off. Okay, if you know who Swavey is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know who Swavey is, put a 2 in the chat.
Clap if you know who Swavey is. Okay. Sus?
Nah, it's not my cup of tea. That I got going on right now.
Well, he's a TikTok star. He's got more followers than me. 2.5 million.
On TikTok, but on Instagram, you have more followers.
Oh, Slay Queen. Oh, yes. Anyway, whatever.
Well, as my son Kevin would say, no one uses Instagram anymore. What? And
that's because all the people who got sick of Facebook, all the adults like me, decided to use Instagram. So Instagram suddenly became not cool anymore with the younger generation. But anyway, here you go.
As far as TikTok, I don't use that at all. I don't know what that is. I don't want to be involved. So here he is. He's 19, and he was murdered Monday morning. I have no idea who this is. Either.
Now, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Do y'all think that was appropriate? Because she is getting dragged on Twitter for that opening. In fact, one of the funniest ones I saw here, one of the funniest things I saw was this. This is because let's just say that Black Twitter ain't having it. And this was the one here. This is the perfect one. Black Twitter agreeing to cancel Wendy Williams around the table after watching that video. It's pretty much everyone's just very angry, and especially TikTok fans. But yeah, apparently this guy was murdered. I don't know any of the details, and I haven't found an article saying what happened to him. But oof. Also on social media, I'll just go from different. That was the one I found on Twitter. Although there's also on Twitter, Dean Cain is trending because he said something bad about the what's that called? The new about the Captain America, new Captain America. And he just isn't impressed, and so everyone's all the liberals who hate Dean Cain are dragging Dean Cain. Also on Cloud Hub, I found something here. This is it's gone. My thing. Okay, never mind. The one that I was going to feature, it must have jumped. So never mind. How about on Parler? I saw, hey, this is the big news yesterday that I didn't get to because I hadn't heard it yet. But it's a sad day for the anti-Trump world because Michael Avenatti is going to jail. Yes. Just take your lumps and go away. Go to hell. Michael Avenatti, Brian Stelter's favorite presidential candidate for 2020. Unfortunately, he's going to be going away for, I think, 30 months, almost 3 years, but he'll probably be out in a year. But here's the thing too, he was out on because while he was waiting for sentences, they let him out because of COVID, right? And so this trial is taking forever. So, he gets out for COVID. So now he doesn't even get that time served. So now he's got to go back to prison. And so sad for creepy porn lawyer. So sad. And then on Getter, the new app that some Trump guy put together, the first thing I see here is one of the Bush brothers admits top. Well, here, let me just click this so I can get the article. Some Bush brother admits top Chinese propagandist is an old family friend. Neil Bush, chairman of the George H.W. Bush Foundation for U.S.-China relations, and the Chinese joined Chinese state-run media to call for closer ties between the U.S. and the Chinese Communist Party. Well, you got Joe Biden in office. How couldn't that happen? Revealing that one of the regime's top financiers of foreign influence operations is an old family friend. Well, when you got all them CIA ties, you probably got a lot of friends in low places. I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. Yeah, I'm friends in low places. So anyway, the Bush family in China, Joe Biden's family's connection to China. Can I just say we're by China soon? Anyway. All right, let me say a quick hello. Get King on Common Law on the show real quick here. First in the chat today was Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
And thank you for being here, sir. Congratulations. You get the bell. Also, good morning, Somnambule Nation. Patrice Ripley, good morning. Also, TOS, Shrooms in the house. Nice to see you. Gunfox61, our administrator of the Discord server. Join the Discord server if you're not already on that. Good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg. Also, Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
And good morning, Lord Stanhope. Good morning, Arthur of Ridgedale Brand. That's what he says in the chat. Also, good morning, Jonathan Peterson, James PFP. Dumb Beard's in the house. Nice to see you. Aaron Meredith, what's happening? Also, good morning to Chicago Mike. Let's see who else is on here. I got James PFP. I got you there. And King on Common Law, who's going to be the first guest on the show today. Also, good morning to Pissed Off Shih Tzu. Do not piss off the Shih Tzu. Good morning, Jonathan Peterson. And I think that's everybody that's chatted so far. I'm pretty close to the end here. Maybe. Oh, no, there's Attack Alpacas in the house. Nice to see you. And okay. I think I got you. Oh, and Ryan himself's in the house. So hi there. Hi there. All right. Let's get the show rolling. Now, my topic of the day the question of the day I had, which you don't have, by the way, you come in here, it's your open mic. You get to choose your topic. I just happen to have the topic that I had brought up. Oh, somebody's in here. Good morning or night, whichever it is for you. Okay. Oh, Lord, no more beer. There's nothing left to do in Thailand but drink. I think I've finally had enough. Oh, no. They're out of beer in Thailand? What the hell is that all about? Are you really out of beer? Anyway, let's... I wanted to show the video of my question of the day. Well, we'll get to that later because King's been waiting here a long time. Let's go ahead and get to King on Common Law, and then we'll come back and deal with the question of the day. I'm going to put the comments back on the screen here, so I'll see them right there. All right, let's say good morning to King on Common Law. Welcome to the show, sir. Nice to see you for once. How you doing? Hey, what's happening? Nice to see you. I can hear you just fine. You hear me okay?
Yeah, sweet. It's actually working. Good. Not bad for a boomer.
It is. Right.
I laugh when everybody calls you a boomer because you're just Gen X.
Well, I'm the cusp of both. I'm the last of the boomers, and I'm the first Gen X. I mean, 60 middle to 64, right?
I don't know. There's so much going on, man. Like, it's crazy. You know, it's like, you know, everybody is bitching about one certain thing, yet the establishment is coming at people 6 ways from Sunday. And none of it's just unique to US or Canada or England. It's a conglomerate of crap coming down on everybody worldwide.
Isn't it weird? No, one of the things that happened recently and when you said that, because I was thinking about this, this president of Haiti being assassinated. And I was watching some show. I think I was watching Hotep's Been Told You last night. And they were talking about there are 5 countries that were holding out on vaccines, and every single one of them, their leader is gone now. So when you say things are interconnected, I'm like, oh, there's a push for it. It's not. Anyway, I'll let you go ahead. You go ahead, because you were going in a different direction, I think.
Well, no. Actually, I read that yesterday, and I think there's still one holdout. I think Jamaica was still holding out. Actually, the president. He came out a couple of months ago. So I've been waiting for his death too. But he came out a few months ago and said, "Well, you know, we're just going to wait and see what happens with Canada and the States before we start giving the jab here."
Right.
You know, but like, you know, it started with you know, this thing about the curve and on and on and on, and now it's like, you know, they're just getting full on to try and force it on people.
Right.
And if you know what is it, graphene oxide is 90% of what the Pfizer is, and if you do a study on that, you'll get amazed. But I don't want to say anything to screw up your show with YouTube. But here's what I see. They sold us back in the 70s. They sold us you know, it's First Coffee, man. That's why I didn't try to get on the show on a different Friday, but
no, that's okay, man.
But okay, let's go back to the 90s here. Like, they sold us on global warming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nobody was allowed to have a discourse about it. Any legitimate scientists that did wish to have public discourse over global warming lost their funding, were kicked off and shamed. They just spent 30 years doing that. They're doing the exact same thing over this woo-flu as they did with the global warming. I think they just figured they got everybody dumbed down that they can just come in and do a big takeover.
Yeah.
And it's all about destroying the family unit. If you got no God, you got no free speech. If you got no God, you got no family unit. You destroy those two things, and then you can attack the kids. You can tell people what to think, what to wear, and how to walk. And that's exactly what's going on. And I don't understand people putting up with it. You know, like, as a society as a whole, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy. I did a rant show yesterday.
Okay.
I teach people about common law. There's only about 10 countries left on the planet that are common law. You got Sharia law countries, you got Napoleonic civil law countries, and then you have common law countries. So US, Canada, Australia, and England, of course, and a few others. And so what I've learned to do, being a poor white biker from the wrong side of the tracks, I totally understand discrimination.
Right.
And I totally understand about courts. So what I did was I investigated why aren't things correct here. So what I've been doing is, and a friend of mine taught me, a buddy of mine out of Virginia, is how to help women get their kids back from social services. Oh. And that's what started it all. And ever since then, I've been helping people in and out of court to go in as a man, not the person that the court presumes them to be. Because anytime you act as that person, then you fall under that jurisdiction. But every man, every woman has a right to face their accuser and cross-examine their accuser. Mm-hmm. And, anyways, that's my spiel.
You're in Canada, right?
Yeah. British Columbia.
Okay. So I just subscribed to your channel just because of what you just said, because I wanted to check out some of your stuff. And in fact, by the way, those watching, check out King on Common Law's channel. It's exactly as it's written in his little name badge there on the show. So for example, tell me something about your latest video.
Oh, well, it was a rant because people just don't. Everybody. Okay, you guys. The Constitution. I don't care if it's your Constitution or that piece of crap paper they wrote up here. What that is that's binding on the government. Okay, that's binding on state actors.
Mm-hmm.
It's not binding on you. It's yours to bind on them. So not only do I believe I have a right to free speech, but I believe the legal society or maintains the same position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at Article 2. Okay, so, and that's how I use these things at court. I would never ever go in. So, anyways, I was just ranting about people not knowing who the fuck they are. Everybody's out stomping in the streets and yelling and screaming. But it's like Reagan said back in the 80s. He says, I don't see any people here. I just see a bunch of civil servants that never took the test. And he was trying to tell people this stuff back then. I've been around for a long time.
That's a good point that a lot of people don't understand. Like for the U.S. Constitution, for example, that's not laws that the people are supposed to follow. Those are laws that are not even laws, just rights that the government are not supposed to be able to infringe on. That it's the Constitution rules them, not us. And so they people don't understand that it's the part that limits them from being able to do the things that they're still doing to you anyway, and you should be able to have some recourse because of the Constitution.
And we do have recourse, but like I say, until people understand where a woman or a man can stand at court and be seen as a man or a woman and hold the legal society in subjection to that paperwork, you're going to lose every time. You know, lawyers were first invented for business. All right. And then for folks who couldn't stick up for them, who couldn't stand at court, were infants and lunatics. Okay, so anytime you get a lawyer to represent you as a legal person, right, you're just a lunatic or an infant. Right. And now you're automatically under a jurisdiction that you may or not qualified to be under. You just volunteer. It's like the jab. You're just volunteering, you know, and people get scared and they don't know their stuff. And education sucks.
Okay.
You know, the one reason I love watching your show is, man, you remind me of like just normality, you know, and I love that. I love coming on. I love listening to you. You're so normal. Oh. And well, I also listen to Salty Cracker and a few other guys.
Yeah, I like those. I like him too. Although I feel like that I'm going to be starting to go on more rants lately. You know, I laughed about something yesterday that people got really mad about. It was some kind of comparison of Brett Favre and Sha'Carri Richardson, you know, and I know this sounds random, but it got me to thinking that I am too nice sometimes, and maybe a little too normal. And some of the things that go through my head are about to start to blurt out because I feel like the guy in Network that says I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting to that point, but I'll try to stay normal and entertaining as well. But I got to tell you, it's just there are times when I'm just like, oh.
Well, that's like when YouTube was punishing you. I'm like, of all the people to punish, why the hell are they picking on this guy?
Yeah,
you know?
Well, that wasn't necessarily YouTube though. That was a knucklehead who was out there just striking people. Who it was like he was like what's the movie with Tom Cruise where they're predicting crimes in the future?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, hey, our government up here wants to pass laws to do that.
Yes, I saw that. The kind of the hate crime or the social media laws that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, well they got this bill C-36 that they're trying to push through now. Now C-10, the Senate just closed the door on them, went away for the holidays, said fuck you guys. But they got this bill C-36. So what So somebody can accuse you of something, drag you into an administrative hearing. It's not really a court; it's an administrative hearing. It's a human rights court, they call it, right?
Okay.
And they don't have to. You don't have a right to know who complained. They don't have to show up at a court, and you just have to go and beg to your God in the black robe, why you shouldn't be punished. That's basically it. It's crazy. It's like tax court.
So, okay, so I'm not as familiar with Canadian. I mean, it's common law, but don't you have a right to face your accuser always?
Yeah,
except for except these administrative courts, I suppose.
Yeah, well, we have you see the only difference between Canada and the States is style. Okay, we have the same foundation. All the laws of our land are based on the Judeo-Christian faith, right? Yeah. Every man, and that's why every man, every woman has a right on this land. Right? Every man and every woman is from this land, or that is of and from this land, belongs to this land, and all the resources belong to every man and woman of and from the land.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Your mother ate of this land, she bore a man from this land, and you will go back to this land. I can pretty much guarantee you that. So messing with, and this is why, like in the States, this is why they call it more like natural law. They use the word natural law more than common law, right? And there's a difference between English common law and common law. Common law is the customs of the people, the basic laws of mankind: no harm, no loss, no injury. Yeah. Right? English common law is a reflection. It's the legal societies reflecting on the common law of the land, and that's that the Magna Carta is like completely legal. And so on and so forth. But there's just two different styles. It's like from state to state. You have the same foundation, but you can have two different styles of the legal society. Right. And Canada and the States are the same thing. And province to province up here, it's the same thing.
But in your common law, though, isn't it more now? In theory, we're not supposed to be able to do this here either. But when, say, for example, something's appealed within the law, don't the courts have a little more power to kind of create shit out of thin air?
Well, it's actually supposed to be the same thing. You're supposed to be looking at precedents, right? And so a lot of our lawyers are trained in the States, and a lot of your lawyers are trained in Canada, believe it or not.
Okay.
It's like I say, it's the style of law. We don't use USC codes. We use what they call PPC, but these codes are used internationally, so that we can do business together, right?
Sure.
Yeah, everybody recognizes them.
What I mean is, supposedly, our courts are bound by what the legislature is the legislature writes.
Okay, here's something we have in common.
Okay.
Traditionally, there's a difference between trial by jury and jury trial. All right. Okay. Traditionally, we are to have a trial by jury. Okay. Because if the municipality, the state, the legislature, the House, if they all pass a bad law, our fail-safe of the free world, of this free land, is a trial by jury, and the jury has a right to overturn that law, to find you not guilty because it's a bad law. That is the one thing we have in common. Okay. Now, a jury, that's written in your Constitution. Now, a jury trial is a legal version of that, and the legal version is where the judge, usually a justice, the one in the black robe, is in control of the jury and can tell the jury to find you guilty or not guilty. Okay. So legally, yeah, but lawfully, under the foundation of your land, your jury of your peers can find you not guilty because it was a bad law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Which a good example in the Georgia.
A good example is Texas. Like up here, if your cattle are on the highway and you hit somebody's cow, right, it's your fault. Okay, but down in Texas, they made a bad law years ago and said if you hit the farmer's cow, it's the farmer's fault, right? So what happened after that law was made, they were holding trial by juries down there, and they were finding the farmer not guilty because it was a bad law. And that's supposed to be our safety net. You know.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, Dog is funny. Good comment here. I wouldn't want to be judged by 12 people too stupid to get out of jury duty, though. By the way, good morning, Dog, Asian Research Director at People's Front of Canada. And I'm sure there's someone else there I missed. Good. Oh, good looking honky. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I just have to read this hello from good looking honky who I've never met before. P-Dawg King. Hi, Peter North here. Old adult film star, born in Nova Scotia, Halifax, Canada, is getting worse. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Peter. Okay, well, Peter North, I am honored. I don't just keep your clothes on because I don't want to see that thing. Anyway, anything else you want to chat about? Since I don't. By the way, if you want to join the chat, the line is at the top, in the pinned in the top, the tweet on top. It also comes up in the stream there. In fact, it's right there. It says it's open mic day, and the link is there if you want to jump in. But anything else you got?
I just want to say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
When WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook changed their policy around Christmas, saying that if you use our stuff now, we can come right into your computers and go through your shit. That's when I dumped all those things. Oh, the only reason I haven't been able to donate to your show is I only use it through PayPal, and I can't seem to get the PayPal and Streamlabs. I never seem to be able to go through PayPal to.
Oh, really?
I won't do it through Google. I hate those bastards.
Okay. Yeah. No, I have for Streamlabs, I have both the PayPal thing open and the credit card thing open.
I couldn't. Okay. Well, I'll look for it again because I couldn't find it.
Huh. Well, that's good to know. I'll see if I can figure that out because I don't know anything about that. First person who's told me that, so I'll check that out and see if there's something going on. Gunfox says PayPal's getting worse. It's kind of janky sometimes. I know that when on some channels I have that same problem. So anyway,
all right. Thanks for having me, Marty.
Yeah, man. So I thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And hey, enjoy your coffee. I'm enjoying mine. Have a great day.
Cheers.
All right, man. All right. Thank you, King Uncommon Law, for coming on. And anyone else who is interested in jumping into the chat or into the show today, feel free. Let me I'll pull up a couple other things while we're waiting for someone else to come on. Hang on a second here. Let's we got that. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to do that. Anyway, okay. So some other things happening that I noticed on Twitter this morning, as in the Olympic Games in Tokyo. They're having some troubles now because Japan has gone into a COVID emergency. Now, I'm not sure the details of that, but I do have an article here pulled up here. Give me 1 second, or there we go. Tokyo Olympic Games venues will be held without spectators as the city enters a stupid 19 state of emergency. Japan Olympics minister confirmed that spectators will not be allowed in Olympic venues in the capital. This follows a decision from Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga to place the host city Tokyo in a fourth state of emergency to curb a rise in stupid 19 infections under the restrictions, which will start on July 12th. Under the new restrictions, which will start July 12th and run until August 22nd. Bars and restaurants will be asked to suspend alcohol sales, and workers will be asked to stay home if possible, which tells me that the Olympics is going to not be the big money maker for Tokyo that it probably normally would be. I think they're going to lose their buttholes on that. Anyway, good morning to you're a ridiculous lunatic. I see you there. And did I miss anybody? I saw Ryan himself here. Good morning. And I'm catching up as I scroll. I think I got everybody. All right. Now, well, Reuters, 5 stories you need to know. Should we watch that? No, we're not going to watch that. Anyway, from the BBC, here's their version of the story. Special Cat Acid. Hi. Spectators largely barred as COVID emergency declared. Olympic minister Tamayo Marukawa made the announcement after talks with officials and organizers Thursday. The state of emergency in Tokyo will run throughout the games to combat stupid 19. Okay, we already said that. Bars and restaurants will be allowed. Venues in Tokyo and other cities or areas near the capital city will not be allowed to hold events with fans during the games. But stadiums in the region of Fukushima, Miyagi, and Shizuoka will be permitted to have spectators up to 50% of capacity and up to 10,000 people. Stupid 19 infections are rising in Tokyo as the 23 July opening ceremony edges closer. There's been widespread opposition to the games in Japan with calls for them to be postponed or canceled. You know, I gotta wonder when they say a rise, because, you know, in different countries, there are different definitions of what a significant rise in cases is. So, for example, if you're in certain states in Australia, they'll shut you down if they get very few rises, very few cases, because they're very worried about it. And I know same in New Zealand, but there's countries in Europe too that just. So anyway. My point is, I'm wondering how bad this wave. So here it is. The new wave of infections began in April, but overall, the country has had relatively low case numbers and a death toll of around 14,900. On Wednesday, there were 2,180 new cases reported in the country. Some 920 of those were in Tokyo, up from 714 last week, and its highest since 1,010 on the May 13th. Japan's vaccination rollout has been slow. This is interesting. We're at over what, I think we're almost at that 70% mark of people who've had their first vaccinations. In Japan, 15% of the country is fully vaccinated. Now fully vaccinated, I think we're near 60 or 50, just over 50%, but having the first jab in the United States is around 70% already. 15% in Japan. That is really strange how low that is. In Tokyo and Osaka, the two cities hit hardest by the recent surge. Authorities hope over 65s will be fully vaccinated by the end of July. And entry into Japan by foreigners from 159 countries, including the UK and probably the US, other than competitors, is banned. Now, it says entry to foreigners. Well, aren't most of the Olympic athletes foreigners? I'm just saying. Do people in Japan want the Olympics? There's a lot of opposition to the games, which have already been postponed by a year because of stupid 19, and have experienced setbacks, including massive budget overruns. Well, no shocker there. And the revenue from the Olympics is going to be lower if they close the venues in Japan. So I don't know. Oh, yeah, this is true. Midnight Exile. They are calling for a third shot. And that means nobody is fully vaccinated except for those of us who are COVID survivors. Thank you very much. That would be me. Yeah. In a June poll, the leading Asahi Shimbun newspaper suggested more than 80% of the population wanted the games canceled or postponed, and the paper also called for them to be canceled. So not a happy day for the Olympics, but they're not going to cancel them. There are a lot of people who want them canceled though. Also, let's see what else is in the news here. What else is trending? Let's see here. By the way, just a reminder, it's open mic day on the show. If you want to jump in the line, it is pinned at the top of the chat, and it is popping into the chat here and there. It's also the description. You can find your way here. So there you go. I'm laughing at something Juanita Broderick tweeted. She says the current administration is a train wreck, and we need Trump back before China takes over completely. Well, and there's the new bat signal, aka the Trump signal. Anyway. All right. Let me do this. Before we go here, I want to check oh shoot, I don't have this open. I don't even know. I'm trying to open up. How do I do this? Hang on a second here. See, it's a challenge when I use StreamYards, because I have to have like 4 or 5 different extra windows open just to know what's going on. And unfortunately, I can't. Oh, wait, my channel, there's that. All I want to see is how we're doing here as far as people in the channel. Oh, we got 35 people in the show. Nice to see you. And also 17 likes. Okay, so here's what I was going to say. Hit the like button if you like what we do. Also, share the stream out if you haven't already. And if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that through YouTube Super Chats or StreamYards. Or Streamlabs. StreamYards is what I'm on. Streamlabs is the link in the description below, or you can go to PDawgKnight.live. Wait, right there. I got to change. Plus, I have things on different sides. So when I point at things, it's right there. PDawgKnight.live. That's where you can do the, what do you call it? The Streamlabs Super Chat link. All right. Let's see what else is going on here. I had MI News link. Oh, I should check Discord too. And here's okay, people are mad at Dean Cain. Oh, here's one for you. As soon as it pops up again, my computer slows down very. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's not it. Dang it. I don't want to talk about Dean Cain. Everyone's mad at Dean Cain, by the way, for panning the Captain American one. All right, here's an interesting one. Where's my screen share? So apparently this man being robbed at gunpoint just doesn't even put down his chicken wings. This is kind of funny. One man wasn't going to let an armed robbery ruin his meal. In a viral YouTube video posted by Real Violence for Knowledge 2, a man was enjoying eating some wings when a robber came in brandishing a pistol to rob people without even slowing down. The man kept cruising through his wings as he handed over his cell phone. And then this thing jumps, of course. Come on. There we go. What is going on, Daily Caller? You're killing me here. Without even slowing down, the man kept cruising through his wings as he handed over his cell phone to the robber. Watch the incredible video below. So let's check this one out. Okay. So the dude, there he is. He's eating his chicken wings. And where's the robber? Is this the robber? Oh, maybe it's him. Now, why did he come and rob this guy? Oh, people are freaking out. Just telling them everyone stand still. Don't move. This dude's still eating his wings. Okay, what the hell's why this thing froze on me here? Okay, it stops there. I don't know why. It's still playing. I can't figure it out. Okay, and he's just eating his wings. He's just eating his wings. Dude must be hungry. I'm just saying. Of course, now, okay. Are any of you gun people? Any gun people here? I want you to watch the guy with the gun and look how he's holding the gun. It almost makes me think this might not be a real gun. I'm going to go back a little bit. Watch the guy with the gun. Does he look like he knows what he's doing with that thing? It's just a weird way to carry. I'm wondering if it's even real. But this dude's still just eating his chicken wings. He don't care. This is a man who does not care. I'm just saying. This man does not care. All right, so there's that. What happened to my window here? Oh, dude, what is going on here? Anyway, let's unshare this real quick. And dang it. Oh, I see what happened here. I hit that. There, now we're back. All right. So it is open mic Friday, and my screen has gone to hell. And hang on a second here. Oh, there it goes. Cool. All right. All right, let's get into some real news. Okay, let's get into some real news. Oh, by the way, they have identified the person who shot Ashley Babbitt. Oh, James PFP, thanks for being here. Have a good day. No, he is not. No, he's not like he is likely to shoot himself. Yeah, he had a weird carry on that pistol. That's all I'm saying. That was really strange. Okay. Let's get into this article about who shot Ashley Babbitt and why it matters. And this is from Issues and Insights. And why is it a state secret? That's a good question. And that's what the question of the day on Issues and Insights is. As soon as this pops up, again, my computer's a little slow today. More than 6 months after the events at the U.S. Capitol that led to the shooting death of protester Ashley Babbitt, the officer who killed her remains a secret, as carefully guarded as any in Washington, D.C. And why? Now, it's I don't know if it's that carefully guarded, because I know that his name is leaked out. So in theory, but we'll see. Real Clear Investigations reporter Paul Sperry, who has been trying for months to learn the name of the U.S. Capitol police officer who pulled the trigger, reported that a name had surfaced inadvertently at a February House hearing. Sperry uncovered the transcript and viewed the C-SPAN video from that hearing. During that inquiry, the House Sergeant at Arms appears to name the shooter. At least he mentions the officer's last name in the context of that shooting. Sperry deduced, based on other available information, that he's referring to USCP Lieutenant Michael L. Byrd. Sperry said the department had denied that Byrd was the cop who killed Babbitt, although it did so when another officer's name started getting bandied about. Oh, what's that? Oh, try sharing window of full screen and share. Oh, no, I know. I've been trying to do that. Weirdly, Byrd's name is deleted from the C-SPAN and CNN transcripts of that hearing, but was contained in Congressional Quarterly transcripts and can be heard on the C-SPAN video. Now, why does this matter? The family understandably wants to know, and the public deserves the details about the shooting. Babbitt was not armed at the time, nor was she threatening anyone with physical harm. She was trying to climb through a broken window. Despite all the claims of an armed incursion into the Capitol building by Trump supporters, there was only one gun fired on that date, the one that killed Babbitt. There's also the question of whether the officer involved has any history of misconduct. The identity of Babbitt's killer matters for the reasons even beyond the family's grief. Charlie, what's happening? Oh, nice to have you back. Charlie, you should jump in today. Because I'm just curious if you support police officers killing unarmed people. Anyway, Charlie, you know, if you've been here, you know that I don't necessarily fault the officer, although I'm curious. Nietzsche Nevermore, welcome to the show. Fun fact, chauvinistic means patriotic. I did not know that, and welcome. I've never seen that name here before. So anyway, as Sperry notes, this saga reveals something else that is also deeply troubling: the fact that the U.S. Capitol police officers enjoy special protections, courtesy of Congress, that no other police department in the country does, and that likely contributed to its woeful handling of what transpired on January 6th. Unlike other police forces, Sperry notes, USCP does not have to disclose records on police misconduct. He goes on, more than 700 complaints were lodged against Capitol police officers between 2017 and 2019, but brass won't say what the alleged violations were or how the department resolved them. They also won't disclose how many complaints are in any individual officer's file. While USCP has an inspector general, he does not make reports public, unlike other agency watchdogs. The Capitol Police won't even reveal how many sworn officers it has on hand. The USCP Charlie, you're trolling. You're good. USCP does not have to comply with Freedom of Information Act requests, in contrast to the Secret Service, which not only has to respond to such inquiries, but also publicly releases audits by its Inspector General. So while the names of police officers involved in shootings are routinely made public across the country, the identity of Ashley Babbitt's killer remains officially shrouded in secrecy for the reasons only the USCP can explain. As if having an unaccountable police force guarding the Capitol isn't bad enough, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is busy expanding the USCP well beyond the Capitol grounds to include satellite offices in California and Florida, with more regions planned. Why? The USCP says it's to provide for enhanced security for members of Congress outside of the national capital region. This expanded role is premised, mind you, on the trumped up claims about events on January 6th that have been routinely and falsely described as an armed insurrection. This expanded role is So while Congress is busy demanding greater accountability and transparency from state and local police departments, hang on a second here. Which deal with deadly threats every single day, it's content to let the Capitol Police operate outside of public scrutiny. This is typical of Congress, which seems to delight in exempting itself from the laws it forces on everyone else. Sperry reports that some lawmakers on the congressional committee that oversees the USCP wants to change this, and they should. And a good place to start would be to release the information from its investigation into the shooting death of Ashley Babbitt, including the name of the officer involved. So yeah, and I put that up there because Charlie was saying that no, that's wrong. You don't get to storm our Capitol and make a mockery of it because of your candidate loss. That's not America. Well, in some ways, you're right. And I agree. And I completely disagree with the idiots who started fighting with police that day, which I call a riot, not an insurrection, because it was not an insurrection. That's an embarrassingly poorly use of that word, considering there were no weapons and there was no real plan. I guess not. But here's the thing. This is not the first time that the Capitol has been overrun. Remember when they occupied Nancy Pelosi's office about a year ago? I remember when, and believe me, this is not even the worst event since, because someone said, what was it? Biden was saying, this is the worst breach of the Capitol or something since the Civil War, the worst attack on American democracy since the Civil War. That's a joke. Wait, who's saying President Trump won, Charlie? I'm curious. Maybe I'm missing. I'm not paying close enough attention to the chat. I should probably pay more attention. Oh my goodness. Oh, I see. You guys are arguing with Charlie. Oh, Assassin of the Gray, by the way, good morning. And a bison pelt wearing knob head. Oh boy. Even though it was feds and journos that went in. Well, now look, let's not, while I do believe there certainly were some infiltrations of other people other than people that are there that supported Trump. In fact, well, we know for a fact that at least 2 who have been charged are Antifa people, but a vast majority of those people who went in the Capitol that day were Trump supporters. Here's the interesting thing about that. Let me take this off the screen. Here's the whole, and I talk about this quite a bit. Here's the fascinating thing about that whole day. A couple things. One, President Trump himself, 2 days before that event, had requested to have National Guard troops protecting the Capitol because apparently he didn't want something to happen that could get out of hand. That was turned down. That's a question that I hope that this so-called committee that's inquiring about the events of January 6th looks into why was that turned down. Also, the first couple times they asked for reinforcements at the Capitol, those were turned down. Now, both Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, who at the time was the Senate leader, majority leader, and Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, both turned down extra help. Why was that happen? Immediately after this was beginning to happen. Now, the other part too is the first two people who have been sentenced and who were charged and sentenced were a couple grandmothers that have already had their charges done, and the one had to go through a re-education camp with her DC appointed lawyer because that's how they do it. They send you to a re-education camp. I'm curious because both of those two that have been already charged and sentenced, already pled guilty and sentenced, both walked through an open door. They didn't break into the Capitol building. They were just sided with trespassing because they were charged with parading and disorderly conduct, meaning that they were protesting within the building, which they say is not, I'll just say not kosher, right? It's against the law apparently to protest within the building. Although I'm still curious how many of those people that were occupying Nancy Pelosi's office last year got charged with parading and disorderly conduct for taking over her office. But, certain members of the squad were cheering them on. So maybe that's why, or just because they chose not to press charges for taking over office a year ago. But I digress. So, just it's fascinating. And I also, fascinating. Charlie, I wish you'd come on unless you don't have time, because I have a question for you too. So what would you say when it's October and President Biden is still our president? New audit? The audits aren't going to change the election, Charlie. That's my point. And again, I've already explained this, that I'm not a diehard Trump guy, but I did vote for him this time. And I don't think the audits are designed to change anything. The only reason I think Biden would be out of office by October is because his mental capacity is deteriorating quickly. So there you go. No, I want you to come on, Charlie. I don't want to do it in the chat. It's easier to just talk to you. It's open mic day, Charlie. Can't you see the chat? Look at the top of the chat up there. It's right up there. It says open mic day, and you click the link and then you come on. So there you go. Nobody wants Kamala. Not even the Democrats wants Kamala. Did I say her name wrong the first time? No, you're right. Nobody, not even Democrats. She has like a 30% approval rating even among Democrats. So no, nobody wants her. She is worse than Joe. Although here's the thing, Joe's not running the show. Do you really think Joe's running the show right now? I just don't. Who gives him those note cards that he has to read from every time someone asks him a question? Who are the people that he's going to get in trouble with when he goes off the cuff? I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I'm just going to take these questions. Who are the people that tell him, no, we don't want to hear him talk? Oh, that was Nancy Pelosi after that little call after whatever. So yeah, we don't want Joe, but Joe's not running the show, and absolutely nobody wants Kamala. Not even your side wants Kamala. So that's it. Anyway, let me thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for being the first sponsor of the show today through Streamlabs. And Black Hebrew Israelite,
that's right.
You are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day.
That's right.
Thank you, sir. With the deuce, Black Hebrew Israelite says, did you see the pedophiles in San Francisco that admitted they're coming for your kids? That explains why they invited people to take their kids to these kink pride events. Okay.
That's right.
The cat is out of the bag. They want to make kitty diddling legal.
You're lying, dog face, pony shoulder.
That's not what I wanted to hit there. I wanted to hit that
that's
one.
Right.
And that's right. FTG pedos. I saw the news of it. I have not seen the video. Maybe I can look it up here. Was it San Fran? Oh, why isn't that not? Come on, work Twitter. There we go. Here we go. San Fran. Here we go. San Francisco's gay men's chorus. And let's see. Let's look that up. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for thank you again for sponsoring the show. Did Charlie leave? Are you still here, Charlie? I'm waiting. I want you to come on, Charlie. Okay, so here is everyone's talking about okay, let me put it on the screen here. It says, everyone is talking about the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir. I would like to share this picture of them. Everybody in black represents the members they had that died of AIDS, that's very sad. I mean, I don't give a patoot whether they're gay or not. But yeah, that's very sad. So here's the video that people are talking about. And that's, I think, Black Hebrew Israelite mentioned here. Hang on a second here. All right. Oh, we're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. Your children will care about fairness and justice for others. Now, listen carefully, because I know they've I get why some people are up in arms about this, and I'm listening to this going, they're coming to it makes it sound, if you listen to the words, your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers, then soon we're almost certain your kids will start converting you. The gay agenda is coming home. Okay, now it makes me think that they wrote this in this atomic shape. Who are you talking to, Charlie? Do you think everybody that's liberal is gay? I can't make this stuff up. No. God, I'm not sure what you meant there. I always enjoy it when you hear Charlie, because I have to watch you like a hawk to find out what you're saying next so I can answer it. But that's what I'm saying. You click the link, Charlie. Click the link. I wonder how much of this song. You don't have to worry, because there's nothing wrong with standing by our side. Get on board and never worry, because the world always needs a bit more pride. No, you don't have to worry. As I listen to it, and I'm listening to lyrics, I'm like, are they doing this? Is this song a big giant troll? Now, part of it is they're saying, oh, we want to educate your kids that we're okay, which I don't care about shit. But it just doesn't play well in Nebraska. Let's put it that way. So anyway, yeah, they're talking about something a bit more pride in this and that. But hi Gen T, I just noticed you were here, and also Infamous One and Scotty Dubs. What's happening? Nice to have you here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Chargy is arguing in the chat. Let him okay. Yeah, don't, by the way, moderators do not block Charlie at all. I just want to make sure. I just remind, most of my moderators already know this, but some of you may not. Unless somebody's being completely abusive to another person in my chat, I'm more than happy to have people say whatever they want. Don't time people out for things. And if he wants to argue with people, that's fine. Or if you don't want to argue with them, don't read it. But I actually enjoy Charlie being here, so there you go. Oh, you were not talking to me. Okay, that's cool. This is the good question is, though, why are gay men singing about other people's kids in the first place? Yeah. Although, you know what? There are lots of songs that sing about other people's children. I mean, I believe the children are the future. Let them something well and lead the way. You know, and that's talking about the greatest love of all. Maybe the Gay Men's Chorus is about talking about the greatest love of all too. But no, that's gross. It's not gross. It's just wrong. It's wrong. So anyway, I'd ban those ad bots. Yeah. It may get a copyright strike. I don't worry about copyright strikes. I don't care. Anyway, we'll keep going here. What else is in the news? Remember, guys, it's open mic. It's open mic Friday. Somebody jump in, because I don't plan as much stuff as I want you guys to have the show. I want you to direct the show today. All right. Give the kids spinach jello. Yes. Anyway, thank you, Selected Boy, for sponsoring the show today. I greatly appreciate it. Who says, to answer yesterday's question, oh yeah, let's get into that. To answer yesterday's question about celebrating patriotism in America if you're Black. Honestly, my skin color was the least of my concerns when I celebrate Independence Day. Well, look, I understand that, and I agree with you. It's the last thing I think about. You know, I think about the country I live in, warts and all, love it or leave it. And I love it. I mean, yes, there are bad things that happen in this country, especially for people with my with the enhanced melanin Americans. Okay. Hello, Thomas Cleaver. No, you're not first, but that is funny. And yes, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, that said all men are created equal. Well, it wasn't all men. We do know that too. And but that's, you know, again, different times, different things. But it wasn't also all Black people were not slaves either. And not all slaves were Black people, and not all slave owners were white people, and not, you know, so you can talk about, Charlie says, okay, good. So, Charlie, I think you got this. Do you have this one right? Okay, let's see here. Independence Day isn't a Black, white, Republican, Democrat thing. On the 4th this year, I was firing off fireworks with Trump supporters, had a great time. I was even wearing a Biden. Charlie, you deserve this. Because it's not a left or right or Black or white thing. However, I had a couple congressmen telling us why Black people shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July. Cory Bush with the, my people are still not free. Well, or Black people are not free. That's what she said. Well, yeah, we are. But if you don't believe it, if you don't believe you're free, then you're right. You're not. You know, my family had horses when I was growing up. Okay. When my family had horses, and horses are very, very big, strong animals. But when you have the bit in their mouth and you have the reins connected to the bit, to get a horse to stay where it's supposed to be, all you have to do is take the reins and wrap them around a post, like a fence post, one time. You don't have to tie them. You don't have to do anything, because the horses will follow the reins from that bit. And if the reins are stationary and they even get a slight pull, they will stay where they are. Now, that horse is actually could be free. Now, but the other thing is, though, you don't even have to wrap it around after a while. Sometimes you only have to hang the reins over a post, and the horse will stay there until you come back to that horse. Because the horse does not know that it's free, that it can just leave, because it has that very slight tug. And what bothers me about the statement that Cori Bush made, that blacks are not free, is that we are. But there are people like Cori Bush who try to convince us we're not, so that she has more power. And I was thinking about this today because I was going to tweet something, because I was kind of mad because I'm watching all the violence that's going on in our country right now, and a lot of it's due to a lot of these new district attorneys that are refusing to prosecute people for things, or keep people in jail for things, or giving, there's people in New York who've killed people who they haven't even forced bail on them. They're released until their trial. And I was thinking to myself, and Gen T and Gun Fox, I see you in the queue, so I'll get you in a second. I was thinking of the statement that what has killed more black people? Bad cops or racist liberal policies? Just a thought. Because the liberal trying to help, the white liberal, I'll say the white liberal just because I'm trying to be provocative here. The white liberal that doesn't see me as someone with agency can be just as or more dangerous than a bad cop. And the person who the Cori Bushes of the world, who are willing to say, who say that blacks are still not free, the people who believe her are more dangerous and more hurtful and harmful to communities than any bad cop could be. Because the bad cop is the man bites dog event, all those names, In fact, I'm going to start daily tweeting a name that you haven't heard, because, some Black Lives Matter, but not all. Who is it? Gerald Green says certain Black Lives Matter. If the demographics are right, Black Lives Matter. But if they're not right, no, nobody cares. How many people died over 4th of July? How many people were killed over the 4th of July weekend? And a vast majority of those, in the lexicon of those who annoy me the most, were black bodies. So I don't know. I'm obviously Cori Bush is not one of the white liberals I'm talking about, but that attitude that, oh, black people aren't free, or black people can't do it, or that there's white supremacists out there just waiting to hold down, and the entire nation is white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. If you're taught that as a kid, and that's what they want to teach now, that the white people are oppressing you, you're oppressed, and they're oppressors, and because they born with that skin, the sins of the father are also their sins. When most kids I see today, I watch how kids interact. I'm a basketball coach, so I see lots of multiracial gatherings where the kids are just like, yeah, man, we're just gonna play some ball. Let's have fun, right? They don't give a fuck what your skin color is. Or I watch kids interact in school. I watched how kids interact in my school in the 80s. In my very diverse inner city high school I went to, we were central. We weren't a bunch. I mean, yes, there were groups of friends and groups of people who lived in the same neighborhood, stuff that hung out together. But as a school together, nobody messed with Central, because we were that tight-knit family that had something in common, that had nothing to do with the melanin enhancements of some of our skin. And so that kind of stuff, that really pissed me off. I think, should Black people celebrate the 4th of July? Well, hell yeah, because regardless, that event started something that got us to where we are today that some people just can't see. So, and I wish more people would see it in what the benefit of that was, and not what, yes, there was a different past. Wasn't, but the founding fathers in that group made it possible for us to evolve to where we are today. So anyway, all right, let me bring on another guest. Good morning, Jen T. What's happening?
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
Good. How about yourself?
I am fantastic. What do you got today for me?
Not too much. I just thought I'd update because, one of the few Canadians that watch you. Actually, I think a lot of Canadians watch you.
You know what I noticed? There are a lot of Canadians. Although I don't my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony is not here, but you're one of my favorites too. All my Canadian friends are great. Awesome. You're awesome.
I think it's because their boat is so similar that we're just like, if we look over at you guys, maybe we can get some tips and vice versa. How do we handle the level of crazy people that surrounds our lives at the moment, because you can't blink and turn around and not see something that just leaves you kind of stunned at the stupidity.
Yeah, no, I know. But the thing is though, but you've got 37 million people all spread out over a huge amount of land, you're kind of in pockets of land, but I always wonder who you're looking at. When you're looking at us, because if you're looking at the left coast there, that's kind of like, oh, don't look at them, please. So anyway, all right.
Yeah, people are asking me about the panda. That was my running gag this year. Was switching over to the panda, because the Chinese and the influence in my country is so insidious, it's disgusting. And if you comment on it, you're automatically like xenophobic or racist, and you're like, no, I'm talking about a different country.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I like pandas. Pandas are cute.
The Asian Research Directorate could probably appreciate that.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go.
It's like, I don't hate Chinese people. Their government, on the other hand, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so what's your favorite topic today?
Well, I was going to do something a little bit nice, because you guys had the 4th of July. So I was just going to be like, did you have a good one? B, what did you do? Because every year I'm threatened by my American friends that I'm going to see the fireworks this year, Jen. You're going to see the fireworks this year. And I'm always like, I'm 3 hours away from the border, guys.
Oh.
That's going to be some good fireworks.
Yeah, that would be amazing fireworks from here, because that's like 250 miles away. But wait, the Canadian border for me is, 2 hours to Duluth, 2 hours for. So 4 hours away. I can get to Thunder Bay in just over 4 hours.
Yeah.
But my 4th of July this year consisted of where we were building that patio. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of our patio. But that's pretty much what my 4th of July was about, because we're getting ready for my daughter's engagement party, which is next week.
Oh, nice. Well, tell her congratulations anyway.
Yes, absolutely. And so, we did that. We're doing landscaping around it. But this weekend, what happens usually is my son and his friends go to his girlfriend's parents' house, which they have a house on a lake up in northern Minnesota. And they all have this big party up there over the 4th of July weekend. Well, this year, the two daughters decided that they were going to separate their friends, because one set of friends is kind of laid back and the other set of friends is wild. And so they decided, well, they were going to do it separately. So we're doing that this weekend. So we're going up there Saturday and Sunday, and we'll still be firing off fireworks, and just doing that. So but my wife and I go up and help her parents manage all those people, because there's usually like 30 of them up there.
It makes sense. And at least then you've got it on your own time. Like you have a little bit more control over the time.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't appreciate that. Like you can always celebrate the day on a different day. Like quite often the date really, when it comes to the independent stuff, really doesn't matter as much as you think, because they were still working on it past the 4th. You know, everything wasn't finished on the 4th, you know, and it's about the point of it, especially when it comes to what you're celebrating.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't really, well, okay, everybody views the 4th of July as different. Like for Americans, it's just fun. Most Americans, it's just really loving your country and it's just fun. From me, it was always the perspective of like, you guys ribbing it in with the Brits. Like if you could just be like, hey Brits, look, we're free. Look at us being free over here. That's what the party looked like to me.
Yeah. Well, no, I love throwing it in the Brits' face, except now they are like one of our biggest allies, and it's
and they're a good one. And they're a good one.
But oh, go ahead.
No, you were finished. I was just rambling on about. They are a good one. Like we used to be a good one. I feel like my country's failing you. That's an ally. I'm sorry.
How so? I mean, I know you, like someone mentioned that, you know, Castro's son is not necessarily our best friend, but
he's nobody's best friend right now. To be honest, I don't think even his side is best friends with him right now. Like anytime I see him, he's got the look of somebody who's on the outs, who's keeping his mouth shut at this point.
Yeah.
And I actually am kind of scared for him, because the dude looks like he's starving himself. With these type of people, with like their mentality and the kind of circles that they're in, when you start like physically reflecting it, that to me usually seems like that just speaks of somebody who's not in a good place. I don't think he is, and I think he's been pulling us in the same place, and I think he opened the door so it could go into your country, because Canada's always been the weakest link when it comes to North America. It's not Mexico.
How so? What do you mean by that?
Because in terms of people wanting to get into America, it's far easier to do it up here than it is in Mexico, because you guys already have your eyes on Mexico.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know, in terms of things trickling in, it's coming from us. It's not coming from Mexico. We cross the border very easily. It's very easy for Americans to cross the border. It's very easy for us to get jobs. It's very easy for us to go down. And when you have that from a group of people that you guys don't really look at with the same intensity, you get a lot of more people going across the border that you might not share views with.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious, how easy is it to get documentation to cross the border from Canada and the United States?
You know,
because I don't know if there's as many.
Right now, not easy right now. But if you were to look on the world scale, you probably have more Canadians still in your country right now than anybody else. Like over the last year, in comparison to anybody else, you're still going to have more Canadians, just because in terms of our overall relationship is reflective of that. I mean, in terms of like border and trading and job markets, we've been your ally for the longest time. Like that, there's a reason we have those benefits.
Right.
Is because you guys have known that we've had your back. Now I don't know. Now I feel like it's not that we don't have your back as so much as we pose like we have your back, but we're just as easily willing to bend to China. You know, and
yeah, that's true. But lately,
well, to anybody else, it looks like they're willing to bend to anybody else, and that's sorry. This is my perspective as somebody who's long-term Canadian. Like my family's been in Canada for a long time. I've always kind of appreciated what my relationship with you guys is. I just didn't take it as like a big thing, you know, because I was a kid. You know, I'm an adult now. I just saw that you guys were our brother in arms in terms of like world scale. When you guys were doing stuff, we either decided to go along with you or we didn't. You know, but most of the time we did.
Is that accurate under both Trudeaus though? They're pretty much what they are. They've both kind of posed Canada as just automatically being defiant.
I didn't disagree entirely with what they were saying at the time. It's just their motive behind it wasn't right. You know, at the time, Canada did kind of feel like we were being dragged along behind you guys in a lot of wars. So a lot of people didn't want to necessarily keep up with that. Like, just because you go to a war with Korea doesn't necessarily mean that we should necessarily be going to war with Korea, you know?
Right.
Like, we're an ally, but that doesn't mean, you know, that doesn't mean you just get to drag us along. That was what he posed his argument as, and that's why a lot of people agreed with his father. But his father wasn't doing it necessarily for that. He was doing it to thumb his nose.
Yeah.
As a politician, he wanted to look good in front of Quebec. He wanted to look good in front of other Canadians, and thumbsing their nose at you guys. You're the dragon of North America. You know, so it's like flipping the bird off at you.
Yeah.
Does it look impressive to some people? Yeah, it does. But it didn't do what he was trying to. It wasn't the entire story of what he was coming across with, and a lot of us know that.
Yeah, I select a boy's point here too. Hopefully, the tarnishing of the Keystone Pipeline won't be forgotten, because I know that's.
Well, you guys have been fighting for it more than we have, and that's the thing that, like, I mean, it's not that our guys aren't fighting for it; it's just our politicians aren't.
Yeah, but and from that standpoint, you guys can just sell it to somebody else. You know,
I think they're guarding it. I think it's Canada has more than just oil.
right.
Like, if you wanted to construct full-on bombs, you could probably do it with the resources that we have between BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the upper parts of Canada. We have all the resources to do that, plus the oil to back it up. I think they're holding on to it because it's not just us that's doing that.
Yeah, but aren't the Chinese buying up a lot of Canadian resources too? And that's
they have been. They have been for 30 years.
Yeah, and they're all over the world, in Africa, Canada, and then every large place. Even here, they're buying land like crazy.
And it's a real iffy thing with them too, because they have been for 30 years. Not every Chinese person who's come here to do business is necessarily a part of that.
Right.
And that's the problem. Is some of them aren't. Some of them came here and they were like, yeah, I'm Canadian. Fuck China. But a lot of them still have their ties. And that's the problem, is you can't just be like, well, I want to know if you have those ties.
Their ties and their spies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's really insidious. And they were really good at it, because Canada, we've never turned our face, like, we've never really turned our backs on people just based off of our differences. You know, like, you'll find quite a few Russians living up here too. They're very different from the Chinese, though. They are very different. When they come here, they're, you know, for a little bit, you might get some that are still socialist in nature. But the minute they realize that I don't have to deal with that crap anymore,
right,
they become anti-communist. The most anti-communist people up here are the ones with the churches who are being attacked.
Right. Yeah. No, the Eastern Bloc immigrants that we get in the U.S. are that way too. The ones that I know, especially there's a big Russian contingent where I live, and to the T, they're just like, you know, America, fuck yeah, kind of people, you know.
like the minute they realize that the freedom is real and that the stuff that they were watching on TV wasn't bullshit,
right,
and the amount of freedoms that they just automatically have, it's just, yeah, I wouldn't want to lose that either if I finally had it.
Right.
You know, and I actually do like the Russians. I do like the Chinese. There is a lot of, they're not dumb people. They're very wise people. They do have a lot of interesting history. There is a lot of wisdom to be had from talking to those people. I'm not a snot bag in the sense that I'm going to turn people away. I am, however, going to turn away people who are talking bullshit and nonsense.
Right.
And I don't give a damn what you look like. You know, like, at the end of the day, that should be the last thing that I care about.
Yeah.
You know, if you come up to me and you're like, hey, Jen, that's all that matters. If you're like, hey, Jen, I'm a black guy and you're a white girl, I'm going to walk away because I'm going to assume you're psycho.
Oh, man. All right. Well, any quick last word? I'm going to get Gunfox in here and then I got to get out.
So I'm gonna just do a little quick pitching, just so people know that I've been upgraded on the minions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, go check out. By the way, everybody, check out Minions of the Zoo. You can find there's a channel called Minions of the Zoo, right?
Yes, there is.
That's where I usually go when I watch you guys. So, and yeah, Jen's on that show, and that's fun to do.
Yeah, so I've upgraded. So I'll be doing streams with 1-ton hammers coming back to the field.
Okay.
And we're switching days out. So we're going to be doing streams on Wednesday. I believe our first one is on the 14th,
Okay.
which is next week. And so Hammer wants to do something along the lines of Lords of the Night. We're going to kind of try and replicate that for a little bit and see how it runs. And
Okay.
and Terry's going to join us. So it'll be 2 colony kids and 1 poor Hammer.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that sounds. And Terry will keep us laughing all the time. So anyway, so yeah, check out Minions of the Zoo. That's the name of the channel spelled just like it sounds, just as phonetically as it's correct or whatever. Or it's spelled in English. Let's put it that way. Minions of the Zoo. Check them out. And Jen, thank you so much for joining me today on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. You have a great day now. Or have a great
you too. Oh yeah, hopefully.
yeah. All right. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. And and then we'll have our last guest on now. That'll be Gunfox61. Sir, you're going to get to finish out the show here. We'll try to keep it about 10 minutes here. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, good luck with that. How you doing, P-Dawg?
I'm doing good.
I can say our July 4th was very interesting. At least Redneck Joe didn't blow himself up again this year.
Oh, true.
He last year he set off one of his homemade fireworks and like lost 3 fingers. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Okay. So, what? By the way, what were you at the track on the 4th? Or
yes, I was.
I saw your pictures on the Discord. You were at the same. You were at Watkins, right?
Yes.
What were they have going on there this last weekend?
They had IMSA, which was a twilight into night race, which was a very wonderful race, except for they lost an hour because of thunderstorms. So ever since the Pocono incident where a fan was killed by lightning,
Right.
Every racetrack is like, yeah, that's not going to happen again.
And so they close down tracks anytime it starts to rain, I take it.
Not rain, thunder and lightning.
If you hear thunder if you hear thunder, they shut it down. Yeah, that's pretty much like what we do in Little League football, But
well, it's not necessarily thunder. It's lightning within a certain amount of miles from the track.
Okay.
And so for Watkins Glen, I think it's 10 miles. And so if there's a lightning bolt within 10 miles, they red flag the race or shut down track operations, and everyone goes to safety until a set number of time from the last lightning bolt, so that's how that goes. And that's all from the Pocono. A couple years ago, if people don't know, there was a lightning storm in Pocono, Pennsylvania, after a NASCAR race, and tragically a spectator was killed in a lightning strike when a lightning bolt hit a puddle or something like that.
That's scary.
Yes. So that's from that. Basically, pretty much overnight, all the tracks were like, "Oh crap, we have to look at this and make sure this doesn't happen here."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now Pocono has made a lot of changes, and they actually named, I think, a grandstand after the guy in honor, and they have actually. I think there's a news story about it. So, and it's a couple of years ago, so I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah.
But
all right, so
are you ready to rant?
I was going to say, give me one news story. Give me one thing you want to rant about.
In your Discord DMs, the Michigan news story.
Oh, the one I was supposed to talk about yesterday, and I never did.
Exactly.
When I know, I'm so mad. I got through that because Check Your Logic asked me, because what was it? I can't even remember the name of the stream from yesterday. It was some about not about time. What the hell was it yesterday? I can't even remember what the name of the stream was.
I forget. Yesterday. I was on the road. I had zero cell service.
And overdue. I named the stream Overdue because they're investigating the governor finally. Yeah. And that's long overdue. Sorry about that, Check Your Logic. I never did answer your question, and I never got to that story. Tell us about that story.
I don't have it pulled up. You're going to pull it up.
Well, just tell me.
While you're pulling that up, the Pennsylvania, which this is also in. This could be your story Monday for story for Monday, I should say.
Okay.
The Pennsylvania AG, which is also linked in your Discord DMs.
Okay.
Is putting pressure on counties not to go with the Pennsylvania audit.
Oh.
From the Congress. So that's a little teaser if you want to for Monday.
I shall look for that.
So, yes, get that news story up.
Right, we'll do that.
Also, PayPal has banned and confiscated over $35,000 from an adult gaming company for sexual services. That's also in your Discord. It's a little spicy, but they're saying they provide a service for a game. Yeah, and there's a couple other gaming companies that are in that genre that they haven't banned. So, yeah.
So, what are these, like adult video games, or are these?
Yes, adult video games.
Are they? Or is this actually like a prostitution ring?
No, it's adult video games.
Adult video games. So they confiscated the funds from the games, huh?
Yes, they locked the account. They banned and are withholding the funds. That is in your not safe for work section.
Are they doing anything illegal?
Well, they're acting like a bank, but they're not under banking laws.
No.
They should.
That's not PayPal. The companies that runs the game.
No,
it's just a game. It just happens to be a very spicy,
Yeah,
that
genre's on Steam. Is on other game selling platforms, and it's fully legal within the U.S.
I wonder if they're going to start cracking down on that. But if they're not breaking PayPal's agreement, PayPal is becoming kind of a scold, aren't they?
Well, PayPal is in PayPal services like PayPal are in the what's called the gray area.
Right.
And there is actually a bill started by two Pennsylvania congressmen and Texas congressmen that is bipartisan bill, and it's a very, very short bill that says anyone handling transactions will be considered a bank.
Okay. They need that, because these little holding companies that can pick and choose based on things that have nothing to do with what their function is, need to be a little more like a utility also.
Yes.
A lot of these they'll shut you down because you have the wrong thing. It's like, no, you're just a middleman holding money for people. You shouldn't be able to shut people down just out of a whim.
Yes, and that is Patreon, PayPal, Indigo, a couple other Stream Elements, and a couple other providers that are just they're just a middleman transaction, like a credit card company.
Right.
They take a flat fee for the transaction, and Bop Your Uncle is done. Trovo is starting to turn in like D Live now, which D Live is worse than Twitch. I mean, geez, they're banning everybody. I'm banned from D Live.
I don't know what's going on with D Live, but a lot of people are just abandoning it because of that too. And if maybe they'll learn, get woke, go broke or something, because I don't. It makes no sense.
And it's funny because I was banned because I was playing violent video games. I was live streaming my Metro when I was when my computer was actually working. I was playing video games like Metro, like the Metro series, Stalker series, a couple other games, and they banned me for it.
Because there's no such thing as there can be no such thing as a violent video game. Oh wait, all the popular games are violent video games. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, but they don't ban GTA. I wonder why.
Right. Yeah, who knows? Well,
but we're getting sidetracked, so let's get back to that news article that you skipped yesterday.
Okay. So just give us the synopsis, because I'm out of time to give us a synopsis, because I know that the legislature in Michigan is finally going to investigate the or is it the legislature or is it the federal investigation?
I did not read it, so I'm pulling up now.
They're what they're doing is they're finally going to investigate the nursing home deaths in Michigan, which Michigan has never disclosed their numbers, and the governor's kind of been blocking any sort of investigation into it, and their numbers percentage-wise may be worse than New York's.
That's not the news story I sent you.
Oh wait, which one are you talking about?
Michigan Attorney General police to probe people who made claims of election fraud.
Yes, I have that one. That's right. I saw that this morning. Where is it? I have it. It's
in your Discord DMs.
No, I know. I have it open somewhere. I have so many tabs open, I can't remember which one.
Here it is. The Michigan Attorney General, with assistance from police officers, will investigate people who made claims of election fraud happening during the 2020 contest. A spokeswoman from Michigan Attorney General Diane Neeslin told news outlets on Thursday that Democrats will probe people who allegedly made false claims. And I'm doing air quotations on that.
Sure.
With the help from Michigan State Police, the SCAPO,
right.
The spokeswoman said Nisi decided to launch the probe on the request of the Republican State Michigan Senate. A Republican-controlled Senate panel last month issued a report saying it found no evidence of widespread systemic fraud in Michigan's prosecution of the election.
And so, well, here's the thing. Those people are likely domestic terrorists. You know that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you question them, they will come after you.
A portion of the Michigan Senate Oversight Committee reported focused on Antrim County, where election clerk falsely reported on the morning of the election that Democrat Joe Biden beat former President Donald Trump by thousands of votes. The senators and their review backed the proposition of Michigan's Secretary of State Joyce Bronson and Ernst County officials, which is that false reporting was due to human error and was ultimately rectified.
Yeah. No, she's just going after enemies of the state.
Yeah, and there's more. It's kind of a long article that goes into, and that was by, and this is by NTD News.
Right.
And then I didn't link it in your DMs, but here's a little teaser.
Because I opened that one.
Yeah, here's a little teaser for your Monday. Pennsylvania State Chairman in starts a forensic probe into the 2020 and 2021 elections.
Oh.
Yep.
All
And
right.
that's your little teaser.
There we go. We'll get into that on Monday. Hey, I gotta call it a day, man. But always appreciate it. I appreciate all the news you send me and keeping the Discord server in line, so to speak. And man.
Speaking of Discord, there is a channel for you now to post your news links, so you're not filling up the general chat.
Oh, okay, good. I'll start doing that. With this one, in fact.
Yep. So that way, everything. I'm trying to keep everything nice and clean.
Okay, perfect. In fact, maybe I wonder if I'll post some of the old ones in there or whatever, but we'll figure it out. But I'll start doing that. That way people can find the show and not always, because the general tab is getting a little cluttered, I noticed.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I may actually make a picture section. So for those in Discord, there are a lot of changes coming and a lot of good changes. So that way you don't have like people talking and posting pictures and stuff like that. But the general chat is usually just chaos anyway, but I'm trying to somewhat get it going.
All right.
I am also uploading videos. I'm going to show a little bit from the track on my BitChute.
Oh, nice. I will check that out.
Yep. Same name on BitChute.
Put a link in the chat to your BitChute too.
Yes, I will.
If you get a second here.
Let me do that right now. Hold on a sec.
And then on that note, I do got to get out of here.
Yep.
But thank you so much again. And also thank you to all the other people who dropped in today. I appreciate you. And you have a good weekend, sir.
You too. I'm doing it's we're taking the weekend off because of the storm that rolled through.
Oh, okay.
Links in the chat.
There you go. Cool. Yeah, if you want to see some video from the track, check that out on Gunfox's BitChute channel. That'll be awesome. And I think that's going to be it for today. All right, man. You have a good weekend, and I'm going to up out of here. All right. Thanks a lot, man.
No.
All right. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. Thanks for our guests today, King on Common Law, Jen T, and Gunfox 61. Did I miss somebody? Oh, Sydney, I just missed you. All right, let's do this real quick. All right, we'll go 30 seconds. Hello, Sydney.
Hi.
Who are you?
What?
How are you?
Okay.
Okay, welcome to the show. Have you been here before?
What?
Have you been here before?
No.
This is your first time here?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, what's going on? What did you want to talk about?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
Not sure.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You just caught me at the end of the show, and unfortunately, I have to go. But I wanted to thank you for jumping on today.
Okay.
All right. You have a great day.
You too.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, folks. Unfortunately, I do have to go, or I would have talked to Sydney there for a little longer, but it's time for me to go. This is the end of the show. So anyway, thanks everyone for being here today. Please, if you remember to do this, or before you do anything else, click the like button before you go and share the stream out with your friends and foes. And also, if you want to make a donation to the show or be a sponsor of the show, that information is in the description down below. It's time for me to go, though. My name is PDawgKnight. As soon as I figure out how this works on this thing here, I'm PDawgKnight. And I'm out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.